Hello everybody, Johnny G, Naked Racer Motor Co. Welcome back. Have a look at this. 1935 Indian Sport Scout, 45 cubic inch. Absolute beauty. These bikes were actually quicker than the Chief, although they were only 750cc. They had better breathing because they had a Y manifold, and they also weighed a lot less. Made them a very quick bike, capable of well over 100 miles an hour. So 1935 still has the small screw-in petrol caps, which disappeared the following year. And you can see how beautiful these are. They've got the moto lamp headlight and the Indian-faced horn up here. Girder forks. You have a dampening adjustment here. And these things ran the split-off generator, or auto light generator, should I say, down here in front of the engine. And this is the returning oil pump, which featured on these bikes. This particular one is a magneto version, so it runs a magneto. There's no distributor. A good scenario, because if you get a flat battery with a battery ignition bike, you're not going anywhere. With a magneto bike, it doesn't matter. The battery can be flat, something can be wrong with the generator, you can still start and run your bike. And you know, I always like that. Okay, now over here you've got the long footboards, you've got the hand shift here, 3-speed transmission, and you can see here they've got the beautiful Corbin speedometer and this flexible speedo cable which runs down here. It's bolted to the frame, and this cog runs in the rear sprocket, and that's how the speedo works. Quite incredible, really. Innovative. This exhaust has got a town and country switch on it. When you're in town, you have it like this, the pipe's quiet. When you get out the country, you kick it and it picks up the noise. It's a lot louder. Called a town and country exhaust system. These bikes had both stands. They had a rear stand, obviously, so you could work on your wheel, and they had a side stand, which we're on here, right here. This particular bike, I like these handlebars. They've got a very nice bend to them, and they're very narrow, but it gives you a fantastic riding position. So very neutral. Great fun bike to ride, this one. I'm too big for it, but I still like riding it. So up here in the cockpit, we've got this beautiful Indian Corbin Speedo, Indian scripted Corbin Speedo, 100 mile an hour Speedo. And right in front of it, we've got the key switch, Indian scripted key switch, and the Indian scripted ant gauge. We also have a steering damper, and we've got a front brake here and a horn button on the right-hand side. Very, very trick. This bike also has the steering lock, which is inside the top clamp, and here's the key. We don't need them these days. Nobody could ride away on this bike anyway. They wouldn't know how to ride it or start it, so pretty safe to just park it and leave it unlocked. So Indian, a very, very proud motor company. So proud, in fact, that most things had Indian written on them. You see here, we have the side stand with the Indian embossed into it. We have the primary cover with Indian embossed into it. The floorboard rubbers have Indian in them. The hand grips have Indian in them. Indian's on the tank, Indian's on the air cleaner. Indian is on the battery case. They're very proud. They put their name everywhere. As you can see, beautiful big tractor seat on this. You know, Indian scripted as well. And sprung, so you know, you went over bumps, the springs took the shock because there was no rear suspension, and it made them very, very comfortable to ride. As you can see, the magneto is on this side. This is the drive. It drives off the clutch, which is inside here, and that's where all the action comes from. So such a beautiful bike. They ran the Briggs Weaver guards, famous by the guy that designed them, Briggs Weaver. Very nice flowing guards, beautiful paint. Indian were famous for beautiful paint. DuPont owned Indian, so anything in the Dulux colour chart was available. You could choose your colours for an extra couple of dollars. Here is the serial number, FCE, and beautiful numbers, and you can see there's a stamp on the case there, an M for magneto. And this is just such a good original bike, matching engine and frame number. And you know, just they're lovely. You know, they've got all the nickel plated, cad plated, the grease nipples on every part of it to keep it in good oiled condition. And I've got to think. Okay, and they've got a beautiful Shebler DLX 110 carb. These are a die-cast carb, quite rare. This has its original carb, and you see all the plumbing here. So these are the fuel taps, and all the lines are solid cad-plated lines into the fuel bowl. You've got your choke lever on here, and you can adjust your tuning on your carb. This is the low speed, this is the high speed needle, as you're going. So very easy to tune as you're going. So once you get to know these bikes, it's really the rider that is the person that keeps them going perfectly. Tuning them, fettling them, greasing all the points, and that's why they've lasted so long. You'll also notice the barrels on these were nickel plated, so that is just a beautiful feature as well. This particular one has got aluminum heads. You could have cast iron heads or aluminium heads, and this obviously has the aluminium heads. Now Indian were very smart. They had an oil tight primary very, very early in the piece. So in 1920 they came up with the oil tight primary bolted to the engine and the gearbox, and they continued that right through to the end. Harley Davidson had a tin primary with a hole in it to let the oil out, and that's why we call them road oilers. Righto, and we're going to get this bike fired up, and we'll see you on the road. Ignition on, Kickstarter out, a little bit of throttle, and it didn't go. What do you think of that? It's pretty cool. Runs like a watch. Have a look at that. Where do you get it? At Naked Racer Motor Co. Come down and have a look. Oh, what a great bike to ride. A lot of fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. Turn on your notifications to see more stories about magnificent motorcycles like this.